Hello, welcome back. I guess this is the second video that I'll be making. Just a raw talk and going to talk about some topics. It all depends on how perceptive you are and how good you are with listening. You can watch this whole video until the end, but if you don't use critical thinking for yourself and really listen, otherwise this video is not going to be any good to you. I wrote down some topics and I actually wrote it this morning what I wanted to say in this video, and I believe it's going to be quite nice. So I can truly say and believe that pain and suffering is the only way to live, but it is your response to it or to that feeling that fucks up your emotions and how you deal with pain and suffering. I see it as stepping stones and something to go through that you know what's on the other side. But if you see pain and suffering as something bad and as something that you have to drag yourself through, then yes, life is going to get hard and your life will always remain hard, because they're just showing you cycles you need to go through, the lessons you need to learn. But if you're not going to be perceptive and you're not going to listen because you talk all the time, then of course pain and suffering will always remain and not be your best friend. And actually you have to embrace yourself and accept that life is just pain and suffering. Throughout your life, you've grown up as a kid. Either it was a good upbringing or a bad one, but you've dragged yourself through lessons that you may already have forgotten or not. So as a kid, you go through this life. You've had moments, but you don't remember it maybe. But you have moments of such pain and suffering, and you've learned something from it. You've gotten past it. Once you're an adult, you get to choose your own lessons, and the only true lesson is to drag yourself through the pain and suffering to increase your lifestyle. What I can tell you here is that when you're going through that pain and suffering, don't rush through it. It's going to end, but don't rush through it. You have to enjoy life for what it is and be in the present moment, because life is teaching you a lesson at that moment, and you have to make sure to remember that lesson. Otherwise, you'll have to do it again, and you're going to get into that cycle again and again. Get up and do push-ups and pull-ups. Embrace failure, suffering, pain, and maybe disappointment. But if you choose not to chase something greater than you, then another greater someone will choose what you have to do. But then you are still comfy, you're still cozy, without any skills that propels you towards a fulfilling life. It's actually keeping you stuck and thinking it's someone else's fault, only to realize that you have pain and suffering of past mistakes and past inaction. And you don't want to feel that. You, my friend, you need to be on the other road. So bring yourself out there, shout your voice, create instead of consume, influence instead of being influenced. Choose your path and choose your life. The further you push a pendulum, maybe it's not the best example, but you have like a pendulum and it's like something hanging, and you can push it and then it goes back. The further you push a pendulum, and pushing means the suffering and pain for the person that you want to become, the harder you push and the greater you push, the greater the force is going to be when it comes back, when it comes swinging back. And then you get to actually reap the benefits when it's returning into your favor, and only for you to then just give it another push. If you feel that like life is just passing by so quickly and your thoughts and emotions are all over the place, there is actually a reset button that you can press, and there are 3. And eventually you can add all the 3 reset buttons into one day. But the first thing is meditation, and I'm going to keep it simplified. You may have done it already and not felt anything, and maybe you didn't start it in the first place because you're too skeptical, but you have to try it at least and feel the benefits. Most people, they start wrong, even before getting into the meditative state. The first thing that is of the uttermost importance is to reflect onto yourself, how you are feeling now, and how fast your thoughts are running in your head. You have to see it as a ship that's navigating in the sea, and it's really stormy. There's a lot of wind, a lot of noise, a lot of waves. That is your head on a day-to-day basis. And the first thing is to just see that, feel that, reflect deeply, and realize that you're actually a little bit fucked up. Otherwise, after the meditation, do you think you'll become a different person? You won't really feel the difference. So to start meditating, I suggest choose a spot that is not assigned to gaming, reading, watching the news, watching TV, or going to sleep somewhere. Choose a spot that doesn't require any action of your subconscious mind, because it will keep triggering. Now the easiest way is to just take a chair and just set it somewhere where people can't bother you for like 10 minutes. That's all it takes. And just sit there. There's nothing fancy you need to do. You have to close your eyes and count to 10 3 times. But each count is equal to a full breath sequence of in and out breathing. So one count is one breath in and out. And you have to try to focus on counting 3 times to 10 without being distracted. So try to focus on the breathing and the numbers. When you fail, you have to restart your counting. And if you're done, just chill and be present. And see how your mind will try to deceive, manipulate, or attract something, wanting you to do something else. But you are the master of your mind right now. The second reset button is that within the meditative state, if you do a manifestation process or praying even. I don't pray, but I sure as hell know what I want in life. So what I basically do is envision the perfect life that I want or could think of. And the only feeling that I focus on is gratitude. Just being thankful as if it's already my life. After that process, you need to take a moment to reflect again and see how you feel and think. Normally you should feel calmer and see the emotions and feelings rising and coming up and down for you to act upon or not. Before that, you were just a chicken without a head, just running into things to do and think about. You were just not really with any purpose. Now the third thing is fasting. And I like this one a lot. So sometimes I catch myself eating all the time and I tend to ignore it, and then it becomes destructive behavior. Eventually I feel that my body isn't healthy because you become what you eat. Now, if you would fast for 24 hours straight and you stop eating and only drink water, black coffee, or tea without sugar, it gives a body to rest, a rest from digesting all the food all the time, and energy will actually be used to restore and repair the body. You'll also go into a ketosis state where you will actually use fat for energy and not sugar or carbs. Just make sure you eat a small meal when the fast is over and not a big one, otherwise your stomach will say like, whoa, what the fuck you doing? But if you implement these 3 things in one day, you'll feel a lot different than before. I can assure you. Look, I hope I've been able to guide you again to a greater vision and that you are inspired to chase it again. That personal dream of you. Because all the suffering and pain that comes with it is a direct correlation of how much success you'll deserve when you've gotten through it. So make sure you follow me on Instagram. I drop tons of value there on my stories about how to train with body weight and nutrition and fasting as well, and the mindset as well. So go ahead and send me a DM if you want to talk about a topic or if there's something I can help with. It's in the description. So that's it. Thanks for sticking by. Bye.